And there was beds for 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there was a steel table bolted to the floor there, a picnic table kind of, and a steel shower with a moldy shower curtain and a laundry sink. And there was a commode in each cell. And I was the 18th person in there. There was a couple that I found out were sleeping on the table and underneath each one of the beds. And I don't remember a whole lot about that first night. I do remember lying there hours later. I couldn't sleep. And I remember the roaches running across me. And I remember the sound of shower shoes slapping on the steel wall as my other shut-in companions were attempting to exterminate them. Crazy fragments. And I remember that first Sunday, my mother. And my mother was a lady in every sense of the word. My Irish Catholic mother, who was the oldest, was the only female with 6 brothers, whose father had been a casting director, an assistant director in the motion picture industry, who came from that background. And my mother came every Sunday, and came that first Sunday because you visited for 1 hour on Sunday. And the visitors, they would be searched, and then they could come up those steps and go out the outer walkway. And on the other side of that block wall was a mirror reverse of where I was staying. So the visitors that came to see us had to walk by those cages and then come and walk by and come and visit through the bars. Like cages at a zoo, maybe. And I remember my mother coming to visit me. And my mother was a lady. And she loved me. And she saw her middle son behind these bars. And I was probably a whole lot out of my head many times, especially in those early hours and days and months. But I remember at the end of that visit, which went by very quickly, Mom was reassuring me about Tom and Christy, my babies, and was reassuring me about all kinds of things. And of course, it was craziness, it was insanity, it was indescribable. But I remember asking Mom, I told her, I said, Mom, she said, do you need anything? And I said, a key. But she said, next Sunday when I come, well, you probably won't still be here, son, but if I have to come next Sunday, is there anything I can bring you? And I said, Mom, yeah, a coffee cup. See, if we had our own personal coffee cup, then during the course of the day, the hot water heater was set at 225 degrees, and if we had instant coffee, we could make our own coffee. So that was my one request, and then, or my one rational request. And then a week later, because I had fully expected it to be out and it all over within that next week, Mom came to visit me again, and she came up those stairs. And we were talking through those bars. And I don't know what outlandish thing came out of my mouth, but my mother looked me in the face and she said, son, courage, courage. And I looked at Mom and I said, Mom, I don't think I have any left. And she smiled just a little bit. And through those bars, she handed me this red, molded plastic coffee cup. And she said, well, you know that's only a cup. She said, but at those moments when you think you have no courage left, touch the cup, and you'll remember that you have at least a cup left. That was the last physical thing my mother ever gave to me. You see, 15 months later, following a 2-week trial during which the state of Alabama asked a jury to condemn me to death, I was convicted. However, I was lucky I received a sentence of life, which in my estimation was another way of dying day by day. I spent 2 years, 103 days in prison. My mother died when I was in prison. Officially, I guess it was respiratory failure. But I know she died of a broken heart.